Every Christmas, we just talk with the phone. Landline pa yon. And just for a few minutes, then that's it. So it's very hard. It's very sad.
If you accumulate the years that he was in my life, it's barely even gonna get to 5 years, like physically na magkasama kami.
Hindi masyado naging bother sa akin na wala siya. Nasanay na ako na wala siya eh. So bakit ko pa parang pag-iisipan or imimiss kung ano yung wala rin naman nung nandito, di ba?
Hindi pala sagot. Kasi parang doon kami nagkakaroon lagi ng friction na
Hi, my name's Nicole. I part-time virtual assistant.
Hi, my name is JC. I am a live stream host on TikTok.
My name is Justine. Current occupation and job ko right now is CSR, so Customer Service Representative.
So I came from a very tight-knitted family. So very close kami. Growing up, I lived with my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my grandparents. So very close, and we always have family reunions, outing, everything. So we're really close. We have fun all the time. Up until now, we talk about a lot of things, even personal things. So very close.
Absent dad, present mom, not really. I mean, even though my mom was present, it's not to say that everything was easy around her. It's very much the complete opposite. You know the trope of hyper-independent kids. I would prefer to keep my distance away from them rather than to be near them kasi I got used to them not being there completely. I mean, physically, my mom was there. Dad wasn't, but emotionally, let's just say na my mom can never be my safe space emotionally. Yeah, very much that.
We were in the same household pero medyo distant kasi ang mga parents ko. Hindi ko masyado silang nai-interact nung child ako kasi lagi may trabaho. So, hindi siya healthy actually. Sobrang neglectful kasi ang nangyayari yung caretaker ko lang is yung sa lola ko. Nagiging interaction ko lang with my OFW parent na yung mama ko before pa siya pumunta sa abroad. Usually pagka tinuturuan lang ako sa homework pagka uwi niya. So ang nangyayari rin doon is that syempre pang umaga tapos pag-uwi gabi pagod yung nanay ko. So wala siyang masyado ma-dedicate na time besides that na tinutulungan na lang ako sa school ko, ganun. So yung dynamic namin talaga is hindi close, medyo distant.
I came from a broken family. So when I was 3, nag-separate yung mom and dad ko. I live with my dad. I grew up with my dad's side. But then before, we really had nothing. Everything is from my grandparents. Binibigyan nila ako baon, everything. My dad was working. He was a security guard before. But it's not enough. So I can vividly remember, it was like one night. So, nakatira kami sa one room in their house. And then I was studying in a public school kasi I was grade 1. But then all of my second cousins, I can see them studying in a private school. They have aircon. They wear good school uniform, written uniform. Because bata pa lang ako, really like kikay-kikay. So, gusto ko rin ng ganung uniform. Very mababaw. So I can vividly remember it was one night. It's like in my core memory. I told my dad, Paka, gusto ko rin school sa private school. Gusto ko may aircon. Gusto ko maganda yung uniform ko. Ganyan. May serviceable. And then my dad just said, okay, sige. But then after, I think months or a year, he went abroad na. So I think that's really one push there to give me a good life.
What had happened was when they decided to get together, when my parents decided to be together, they went home at the same time. And then they decided to settle because my mom is a teacher, and she decided to teach locally. But then again, my dad, knowing that he would make more money overseas, he actually started to apply to cruise ships. So very much he got to live his life vicariously then, I guess. If you could say that he got to be adventurous while we got stuck here.
Yung parent ko na nag-abroad is yung mom ko. Kasi syempre, gusto niya mapagawa yung bahay. Gusto niya rin mapaganda yung buhay namin siyempre. Tsaka gusto niya rin kasing gumawa ng sarili niyang business. Yung maganda rin naman kasi sa mama ko, actually sobrang proud niya sa skills niya. So, nakuha agad siya sa OFW. Nakuha agad siya bilang personal assistant sa isang hotel chain dun sa Kuwait. Personal assistant siya dun ng CEO. So, dun siya nakuha kasi medyo broad yung skills niya.
So the first few years that actually I don't think it's the first few years. It's up until his last year of working. From the first year until the last year. Because he worked for I don't know, maybe 15 years, 16 years, I'm not really sure. But all those years, every time aano siya, it's very, very hard. Because I grew up with him. I'm a very papa's girl. But then, singit ko lang, I was with my stepmom na. He met someone. I was living with my stepmom for a while na already. But then it's still hard for me, especially the first few years kasi, syempre gusto ko nandito siya. Like, even though I know he can give me good life, I'd rather have his presence with me. Just be with him. Iba pa rin kasi when you're with your parent eh. Iba pa rin yung feeling na you have someone with you na talagang parent mo. Na you know it's your dad. No matter what happens to you, you have him. If you need something, you have him. You just call him anytime. So, super hirap. At super lungkot, especially Christmases and New Year's. Because most of the time that he was abroad, di siya nauwi ng Christmas and New Year. So it's really sad. Every Christmas, we just talk with the phone. Landline pa yun. And just for a few minutes. Then that's it. Kasi mahal long distance. So it's very hard. It's very sad.
I would be happy whenever I got news na, oh, uwi na papa mo, uwi na ganyan-ganyan. I would be happy. But then again, when he wasn't there, I was still happy. I mean, my mom never really made me feel that my dad was really that big of a part in the picture. Sure, I get it. He was overseas, he provided. Basically, whenever he was home, which is basically almost like 2 months, 3 months, nothing more than that. So basically, like, if you accumulate the years that he was in my life, it's barely even gonna get to 5 years, like physically na magkasama kami. So whenever he got home, at the first few weeks, he would be pleasant. But then again, the more he settled home, the more he started to slide into his vices then. My dad used to be a major alcoholic. So whenever he would lash out, pag nalalasing, he would lash out. And there were times in my childhood na parang, oh, I started wondering na, shoot, bakit ganon? Every time I hear news na uuwi na siya, I get excited and then there's this sinking feeling na, shoot, andito na naman si Papa. So I have to be on my best behavior and then I have to expect na iinom yan. The older I got, the more I started resenting him for it.
Actually, yung yung sad nga dun tsaka yung medyo masaklap is parang sa unang years na wala siya, lalo na yung teenager ako, walang masyadong nagbago kasi lagi naman siya wala sa bahay or 'pag nandun siya sa bahay, hindi masyadong naging bother sa akin na wala siya. Kasi parang hindi na nga ako sanay na nandiyan siya kahit na nandito siya sa Pilipinas. Nasanay na ako na wala siya, so bakit ko pa parang pag-iisipan or imi-miss kung ano yung wala rin naman nung nandito, 'di ba? Nagbago kasi lagi naman siya wala sa bahay or 'pag nandun siya sa bahay, hindi masyadong naging bother sa akin na wala siya. Kasi parang hindi na nga ako sanay na nandiyan siya kahit na nandito siya sa Pilipinas. Nasanay na ako na wala siya, so bakit ko pa parang pag-iisipan or imi-miss kung ano yung wala rin naman nung nandito, 'di ba?
I think there's only one advantage. It's because they can provide well for you. For example, my dad, when he went abroad, of course, he was able to send me to a good school. He was able to buy me everything that I want, all that I need. He was able to take me to good places, pay for everything that I need in my life. For me, I think that's the only advantage. Money and you're well provided.
Definitely economic advantage depending on which country they were at. People who tend to psychoanalyze will call me out for it for being materialistic na din kasi my dad overcompensated his absence with physical things.
Siyempre gumanda yung namin, living condition namin, Yung mga dati kong hindi na-afford, kasi 'pag nagse-send naman siya, nakukuha ko na, nagagamit ko na. 'Pag may allowance na ako dati wala akong allowance. 'Pag may allowance na ako, meron pa akong para sa sarili ko, nabibili ko kung ano yung gusto ko. Siyempre gumanda yung ano namin, living condition namin. Yung mga dati kong hindi na-afford, kasi 'pag nagse-send naman siya, nakukuha ko na, nagagamit ko na. 'Pag may allowance na ako dati wala akong allowance. 'Pag may allowance na ako, meron pa akong para sa sarili ko, nabibili ko kung ano yung gusto ko.
Disadvantage, there's a lot for me. But I think the most is because I believe that time is the most important thing in the world. And all those years that he has been working, I feel like the disadvantage is he didn't see me grow up and I didn't get to be with him growing up. I don't know, he started working, I was in grade 2, grade 3. And then up until high school, he was working abroad. So all those years, I grew up, I experienced a lot of things. He's not around. So disadvantage is he's not gonna see you. You won't have your parent who is on abroad on your recognition days, graduation, your birthdays, Christmas, New Year's, all those occasions, you won't have them. And you can't take it back, no matter how much you want.
What he ended up I mean, it's technically me working for whatever he gives me. But then again, what he used to do, or more like what my mom used to do, is that, oh, kailangan maging achiever ka. Kailangan pakita mo sa, sa papa mo na you're not getting lower grades. Anything below 85 and 90 is unacceptable. So there was that added pressure na parang, why am I working for something that you're using to compensate your absence with? Yeah, I was very much an achiever. What my mom ended up doing was that, syempre, second family kami. What she ended up doing was that, oh, you have to be better than your half brother at everything. Kasi yung papa mo, kailangan niya ng mapagmamalaki. Kilala mo naman yung mga kamag-anak mo on that side of the family. Kailangan mapagmamalaki ka niya. Isipin mo na lang, ikaw yung anak ng tatay mo na tatawagin niya talagang anak. Like, excuse me? Excuse me, ma'am? Ma'am? Are you serious? Na parang, okay, weird flex, but okay. So in my mind, when I was a kid, I really had a lot of pressure talaga. It was highly transactional, even though it shouldn't have been.
Parang kahit mas madami kaming gamit, mas madami kaming, puwedeng gawin, hindi namin ginagawa magkakasama. And I think yung nangyari rin naman kasi dun is, nanggaling na rin dun sa pattern ng family namin sa una pa na parang masyadong distant yung family. Kasi parang masyadong naka-focus sa survival, eh. So, parang kung ano yung nagiging dapat namin naging bonding, dati nagagawa pa namin bilang family kasi 'pag may laro akong 'pag may bago kaming mga laro or may mga bago kaming family bonding time, ginagawa namin magkakasama. Kasi yun lang, eh, parang pinagsasamahan lang namin kung ano yung meron kami, eh. Ngayon, parang may sarili na kaming piece of the pie, may sarili na kaming laro. For example, may sarili na kaming kwarto. Hindi na namin ginagawa yung dati namin ginagawa na pang-bonding. Parang ano na, wala na. Wala ng family bonding, gano'n. Bago kaming family bonding time, ginagawa namin magkakasama. Kasi yun lang, eh, parang pinagsasamahan lang namin kung ano yung meron kami, eh. Ngayon, parang may sarili na kaming piece of the pie, may sarili na kaming laro. For example, may sarili na kaming kwarto. Hindi na namin ginagawa yung dati namin ginagawa na pang-bonding. Parang ano na, wala na. Wala ng family bonding, gano'n.
There was a phase that I was a rebel. I became like not so much, I must say, to the point that I did crimes, but I was a rebel to the point where I feel like because he wasn't around, of course it is not his fault because he had to provide for me. I started looking for the kind of love that I'm missing out from outside the house. Like I started looking for it with my friends. I started having like mini relationships here and there. I'm not with my dad's side already. I was living with my stepmom. Parang there's something missing in me that I had to parang I wanted to look for outside the house. When he first got home, it was also awkward at first. It's like we didn't know each other anymore. Parang there was once a time we fought kasi I was dressing up super kikay, and then he said na, "Why are you dressing like that? Ganto ganyan." So, hindi na masyado kami super close. But then of course, habang tumatagal yung panahon, we started having a relationship back again. But I'm very happy that before he passed away, I was able to fix my relationship with my dad, say I love you, say I'm sorry, and everything. So, yeah, it wasn't smooth when he went back, but at least I was able to fix it before we were able to fix it before he passed away.
I live away from them. And I'm not looking to move back even though I'm having a difficulty finding a place for myself na solo ko. Kasi currently I do live with other people. I have roommates. I don't want to go back. I just tell them whenever my mom is like, "Oh, you're having a difficulty finding a place, you don't have to you don't have to pay anything, just come home." I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I come home and then ubos sa inyo yung paycheck ko. Yeah, I come home pero lahat ng lahat ng difficulties nyo is i-offload nyo sa akin na para bang just because I'm there, it automatically becomes my responsibility. I mean, currently, my mom is a little bit more understanding, but I prefer to keep my distance. Lalo na with my dad, kasi I think the deep-seated pressure from before still is in me. I mean, it's hard to remove. Don't get me wrong. If you plant a seed in a kid, it starts to grow, and once it grows, there's no really trimming the tree anymore without dismantling the whole system and the whole root of it.
Yung family ko naman kasi, masasabi kong okay pero kasi hindi healthy, eh. Kasi ang nangyayari is masyadong naka-focus sa sarili nilang mundo. Kasi family kayo, eh, dapat kayo yung nag-i-stick together. Parang feel ko pagka may nangyaring crisis or may nangyaring aksidente, may nangyari sa kapwa naming kapamilya, I don't think na may mangyayari na magpapakita sila ng pake dun sa kapwa nila kapamilya. Dun sa mom ko ngayon nasa Kuwait, ngayon binobomba. Siyempre ako natatakot kasi nandun siya, eh. Natatakot at nagagalit kasi parang nagpapaka-martyr siya dun, eh. Yung nangyari sa kapatid ko parang hindi sila masyadong bothered kasi parang insulated pa sila sa realidad na baka mawala yung nanay nila. Parang hindi pa nila naiisip na, "Ay, baka yung mama ko madamay dito." Bale hindi pa nagse-set yung realization para sa kanila na mawawala yung kapamilya nila, mawawala yung nila, parent nila.
I would discourage my parents from having a child when they're both not in in a sound state of mind, when they're not still emotionally, mentally, and even physically prepared for it. Basically, I grew up at first na parang I was thinking, "Oh, my mom is a single mom because my dad isn't here." I used to think that when I was a kid. And then there were times na parang tipong my mom would be telling me, "Kung hindi ka lang pinanganak, sana ganito. Sana iba yung buhay ko ngayon. May magpasalamat ka. Magpasalamat ka, naging kami ng papa mo kasi kung wala kami, wala ka rin sa mundo." And then with my dad, it was very much that very much due to them and the circumstances that I've had to face. So if I do have to rewrite anything, I mean, even if the circumstances don't change, better parents and mentally sound parents and prepared parents would have made one hell of a difference. I am so sorry, mom, dad, if you're gonna be watching this. I am so sorry you have to hear this now. But if I were to tell my younger self what her future would be, I don't think she's gonna be happy at all knowing the that I had to go through, knowing the that you put me through, the both of you put me through. The only thing I'm grateful for them right now is that they're trying to actively better themselves, although it's a little too late. I mean, it's better that you're still trying to catch up, but don't you think it's a little too late for that? But yeah, if I do have to rewrite my story, I would write them out of it. I would simply rather not exist at all or exist with another set of parents who are better and much capable of taking care of a child. Kasi what they did to me in my childhood is that it was a handbook on how not to parent. So if I do have to rewrite my story, yeah, I would write them out of it.
I feel like the only thing that I would change maybe is I should have spent more time with my dad when he was still alive. I should have went home often because since I was in my rebel phase, I always do sleepovers with my friends. It's like I don't want to go home. I don't feel home. So, or I would stay with my grandparents. I would not go home to our to where my dad and my stepmom is. I would say love you more, you know, live life with him. Maybe just sit down with him, just savor every moment that I was with him before. Because right now, that's also what I tell everyone. What I say everyone to all my friends, all my family, my cousins, everyone, to always just be present. I wish I would have been more present when my dad was alive. I would have chose to stay at home rather than to go out with my friends. I would have sat there with him, just watch a movie, rather than go to the mall or party or do whatever in my own selfish needs or wants. I would give time more importance if I could change anything. But also on the other hand, I feel like all of everything that happened in the past also what led me to the kind of person that I am today. I give importance to my family, to my kid, to everyone, my family, my friends. It's because I learned the hard way na time is very important and that just sabi nga ni Chris Aquino, love, love lang.
Kung i-rewrite ko sana, siguro yung mga times na ini-enjoy ko yung buhay ko na wala siya, na-enjoy ko yung buhay ko na nakukuha ko yung mga pinapadala niya, yung mga pinapadala niyang pera, pasalubong. Siguro ang papagawa ko sa sarili ko is mapapaisip ulit ako, parang tama ba 'to? Parang tama ba 'to na parang nagiging masaya lang ako sa buhay ko habang naghihirap yung nanay ko sa ibang bansa. Kasi dati nung binata ako parang hindi pa nagsi-sink in yung realidad ng sakripisyo eh. Kung ano yung ipinapakita niya. Kung ano yung dinararanas niya nun. Kasi wala naman sigurong parent na parang gusto mag-open up sa anak na nahihirapan sila. Kaya rin siguro naging distant yung parent ko kasi ayaw niya na ako yung mag-worry para sa kanya. Pero ngayon na mas malaki na ako, na mas nakikita ko na kung ano nangyayari sa mundo. Lalo na ngayon, binobomba sila doon. Siguro man, hindi ko nararamdaman na mahal niya ako, pero mahal ko ang nanay ko. Hindi ko masabi ng maayos kung paano ko na-appreciate na nandun siya at nagsakripisyo siya para sa akin.